All right, 40 days through the Bible, day 22. So this was the book of Proverbs, and what I wanted to talk about was from chapter 27, and it's a verse that if you've been a Christian for any amount of time, you probably know, but in the NIV it says, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. How I always memorized it was one man sharpens another, right? And this is a verse that my whole life has been used specifically in like a men's ministry sense, of like, yeah, we got to get together with the guys because one man sharpens another, and like we got to hang out together because like that's how we sharpen each other, and that's how we're going to be sharp. And earlier this year I was back home with one of my brothers, and we were building a knife. He's a blacksmith, and he was like, hey, do you want to build a knife with me? And I'm like, heck yeah. So we're building this knife, and as we're building this knife, I had this realization the one day that I was like, wait a minute, dude, iron doesn't sharpen iron. Like, if you have two swords that are made out of iron and you like hit them against each other, they just dull each other. Like, you can't sharpen a knife with another knife, right? Like, I'm not thinking about this wrong, right? I'm not crazy, right? And he's like, oh my gosh, dude, no, like you totally can't. Like, the only way that you sharpen something is if you rub it against something that is harder than the knife that you're trying to sharpen. And so with that realization, it just hit me of like, oh my gosh, I've always taken this verse to mean like all I need to do is just be around other guys and then they'll just make me better, right? But when you look at it in this case, it's like I can't sharpen a knife with just anything. I have to sharpen a knife with a substance that is harder than the iron that I'm sharpening on the knife, because it needs to shave off some of the metal on the edge of the knife in order to refine that edge. And the same thing happens with people, where it's like I'm not going to be sharpened by just hanging around anybody. I literally have to be hanging around people who are more hardened in certain areas than me, so that they can shave off these edges, right? And it just completely changes this idea of like, I can't just go and just going to a men's breakfast and just hanging around certain guys and whatever. They're not by default going to sharpen me. If we are roughly, the same hardness level, right, of material, like they're just going to make me dull. If you just hit the same things together, we just break each other apart and it doesn't actually sharpen anything, right? And so, yeah, it just really, really just radically shifted for me of this idea of like, oh my gosh, yes, another man will sharpen me. Someone else will sharpen you, but only if they are someone who is at a higher level than you, right? And just being around other people is not necessarily going to sharpen you. And so it puts a higher responsibility on this idea of trying to find people to be around to sharpen you and to improve you as a person. Hi. That's all I got for today. See you in the next one.